Welcome everybody, Pablo from Style Systems. If you want more information, visit stylesystems.net. So for this video I wanted to cover something that I see every time I'm in America. It's the Latinos, right? The people, the Hispanics, the Latinos, and their style, their way of approaching fashion and their outfits, which basically means also how they approach our lives, right? Because you can get a kind of an understanding when someone is dressed up in a way, whether you like it or not. We're going to judge that person and we're going to have like an understanding or just one part of their essence, their personality, their attitude towards life, towards themselves. So if you look someone who is dressed up in a bad way, of course that, man, you don't want to approach them. Or you place them into a category that is probably negative, which is what is happening with us, the Latinos, especially when we are in America. We have this stereotype, and not only in America, but all over the world. I've been living in all over the world, from Italy and Morocco, Spain, Switzerland, America. I've been all over the place, and something that I've always came across is the stereotype of the Latinos, Mexicans, and just they put us into a category of being lazy, of being the party person, the party guy, the party girl, and just not very well put together. Now, even though we know that is not true, because we're people just like everyone else, it doesn't matter if we come from that place, we're people, right? And we create our own destiny. We basically do what we want to do because it's up to us. It's not up to the background that we have. It's not up to the place we were born in, right? We can't break those limitations if they become a limitation. So that's exactly what I want to cover today, right? Every time I'm here, I see this problem because we brought this on ourselves. We have the chance to look good, to look sharp. We can do that. We can make a choice, right? It's not that someone is pointing a gun at us and tell us, dress horrible, right? Wear oversized things, wear things that make you look ugly. Like the uglier, the better. It's not like that. No one is forcing us to look horrible. The point is, and the fact is, nos dejamos llevar. We let ourselves be carried away by society. If you were born in a very bad neighborhood and you want to be the accepted and you want to fit in, then maybe you'll start dressing yourself up like a cholo or with a sombrero or something like that, and all of a sudden you are inside of that. You get wrapped up inside of that world, and then the problem is that you become unaware of these things. These trends, they become a part of you, and then you're unconscious about what you're wearing and why are you even doing it. Sometimes even the accent. You can notice that I'm not from around and I'm from outside of the United States. But even though I'm a Latino, even though I'm a Mexican, I don't have to talk like this. Hey, what's going on, guys? So basically what I'm going to show you guys, hey, I want to show you, yeah, fool. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And I know that, the background of this is because you want to fit in. But the problem is that you do it unconsciously. You do these things. You start talking like that. You start dressing up in a way that is unconscious to you. You don't want to know what happens when you are unconscious about your life and even about the things that you wear or how you communicate, the words that you use. You're not in control of your life. You're just reacting. You become a mistake of life. Instead of being an asset to life and someone that can give something back to society and to life itself and the world, you become a mistake. You're just reacting towards life because you're unconscious of it. You're unconscious of your own life, of your own things. So here are some style tips that I want to give you. I know that I got a little bit deeper onto this part, but this needs to be said, all right? We need to break this stereotype of being like the cholo or being like oversized, baggy stuff. We don't have to look like that all the time. So I want to show you maybe an outfit that can actually emphasize this stereotype, and I'm gonna try my best because I don't own clothes like that. You know, I just throw them away. I never look like that, so I can never look like that anymore. But just look at this outfit as I am right now, right? There's a way of doing it. There is something that we can do. You don't have, I mean, if you want to represent your background, if you want to represent your community, if you want to represent your roots, there are so many different ways to approach this. And you don't have to look horrible. Because remember, first thing, we have a tendency to act better when we are surrounded by beauty. When we are in front of beauty. We give our best, we accept more, or we can persuade more, because again, beauty is not necessarily has to be something like feminine or women. Like when you look sharp, when you are very, very neat, people will hear what you have to say. Okay, not only that, but also you will feel different yourself within you. So that's something that you want to do, right? Another thing, more than 80% of the decisions that we take are based through our visual senses. So if you look kind of like not well put together, you don't look professional, then people are going to judge you and misjudge you probably. So you don't want to do that. Now, you don't have to stop being yourself. Let me show it to you right now. So I don't think you necessarily have to look like this simply because you are a Latino, right? Simply because you are from Mexico, or you have a background and in being a Latino. So this is something that, a stereotype that we brought to ourselves, right? We brought it to ourselves, wearing these fucking horrible hats, and you know, sometimes wearing hats where maybe it's not the best occasion. I know that some of you norteños like wearing your big ass hats all the time, and man, that's fine. You just have to understand where and when to use it, because otherwise, you know, these stereotypes, they're there for a reason. It's not just because people are stupid. It's because the majority of the Latinos are doing them. They're unaware of these things simply because it's part of their culture, maybe. But I think by now, we and you, I know that you have a better understanding so far, but we have brought the world to us, to the palm of our hands, and now we have, you know, a connection with everyone and with everything, with every single part of the world. So I think that now we have a broader perspective on what is supposed to be good or what not, is what's supposed to be bad. And even though you can still respect your culture, your background, your ancestors, your roots, but now I think you can upgrade it. You can take it to the next level, and you don't have to look like a cholo. You don't have to look like a charro. You don't have to look like, you know, like, you know what I'm saying. So these are some styles and tips that I want to give you if you are maybe an American living in, well, I'm a Latino living in America, or, you know, half American, half Latino, whatever, right? I think the time has come for us to break this stereotype, break the paradigm of being, oh yeah, looking like a fucking chancla, you know, which I'm wearing just for you guys, so that you can see that I'm actually, you know, getting into the wall of being like these type of persons. And for some reason, I don't know why we have this idea that we have to look bad, right? I don't know if you guys ever thought about it, but when you go to these cholo places, or when you spend a lot of time with Latinos, they wear oversized, you know, big ass shirts. I think this shirt is looks good because it fits me. I don't even have like big ass clothes anymore because I just throw them away, which is something that I recommend to you guys. If you start analyzing your wardrobe and you just get away the things that don't work for you, it'll be harder for you to be wearing things that don't fit you and things that actually make you look bad, all right? So just like a tip on the side. So yeah, guys, just look at it. Look at it through a different filter, with different eyes. When you are with these communities, why are they wearing these things? It's almost like they don't want to step the fuck up with their style. It's almost like they don't want to stand out with themselves, with their own lives. Even though they have the capacity, even though they have the opportunities right in front of them, by wearing these things, you're shutting down a lot of opportunities. You're closing a lot of different doors, and we don't want to do that, man. I mean, we don't want to do that. Imagine me approaching a businessman, you know, wearing some shorts, you know, some white socks, the chanclas. man, that wouldn't make any fucking sense, man. It wouldn't look good. And it's just, you have to live up to your standards, to your potential, right? If you've heard this probably a million times, dress for the job that you want, not for the job that you have. This basically means that you should be dressing in the way that you look at yourself in the future, right? If you think of yourself, or if you see yourself as being this very successful person, then why don't you match that frequency that you hold within your head in the outside as well, right? You don't have to wait until you become a millionaire to look like or feel like $1 million. There are certain style tips, there are certain things that you can be doing, and they will help you tremendously. As you can see, you know, you don't want to look like that, right? If you want to represent something, you know, it's like the tattoos that I have. I still look sharp, I'm still professional, I'm still an image consultant, but also I always carry with me the same tattoo that I have over here. I have this chain that basically what it represents is, you can call it in many different ways, Hunapku, Quinkunce, which basically like the yin and the yang of the Mexica culture, or the ancestors of America, right? The Aztecs, which is the wrong name to give it, because they were not Aztecs. The Aztecs, that name was given by the Spaniards. So the actual name was the Mexicas, or the Anahuacas, which is the culture of the ancient America. But that for another video. And I'm also wearing a sacred representation of the claw of an eagle made out of jade, because it's something that I got in a ritual. So that to me is, I'm representing my culture, I'm representing my Mexica background, I'm representing my Anahuac background, or Aztec if you want to understand it better like that. Some tips you can do, even the color. Pink is a color that is representative of Mexico, you know. You see a lot of pink when you're in Mexico, or when you're in just Latin America. We have this tendency of being more, the folklore, being more party, or being more loud, being more like, more flavor to life, right? That's what Latinos, we stand for. We have more flavor, we add flavor to life. So how can you bring that onto your fashion, into your style? By colors, add up some colors. Instead of wearing some, you know, this is a navy suit, that could be, it could be easily worn, you could easily wear it with some white dress shirt. If you're a woman, you can do the same thing. You can get a skirt and then match it up with something white. But that's boring, that's what everyone else is doing. So if you want to represent that you're a Latino, how about you start adding up some colors, some details. You know, the detailing, that's how you're going to get to represent your uniqueness. That's how you're going to express who you are. Style is only how you express, how you point at yourself and say, this is who I am. But you don't have to shout. It is the subtle things, the subtle ways that hits us the most. We absorb them more, because when I'm shouting you like, hey, I'm Mexican, you know, or I look like a goddamn cholo, or I look like a fucking chancla, of course, it's gonna be like, whoa, dude, like, relax, right? And you don't want, I mean, you want to, as much as you can, you want to be able to communicate and be accepted by everyone. Now, this is, I mean, maybe if you've watched my other videos, you understand that it's not that you're doing it for them, but I mean, if you're going through life saying, you know, looking like a cholo, I mean, like, fuck everyone, I don't care, you're getting rejected by everyone, and you are rejecting everyone. That's just a facade, you know. That's just, you're very lonely on the inside, and you want to be able to choose who you get rejected from, right? You want to choose who you surround yourself with. If you want to get a business, or close a deal with a business or with a person, but you look like a cholo, and you know that they hate cholos, and you know, you're gonna lose opportunities. How about you become the person that takes the shots? You can say yes, yes, no, I don't like you, yes, I like you. You know, you become the person who is in control. Why? Because you simply become conscious about the things that you're wearing. You become conscious about yourself. Remember that the outer image is some direct manifestation of whatever is going on the inside. So you're telling me that wearing oversized, baggy shit, that represents who you are on the inside? No, man, that should not be the case. You should look sharp. Why? Because you have a sharp mind. You have a sharp personality. You're always, you know what the fuck you're doing with your life, basically, right? So some style tips that I can give you is just try to reconnect with your roots. Understand the Toltecayotl, for example, and you'll get a lot of inspiration from there. And that way, you're gonna be more centered, more stable. You know, you're gonna have stability towards your identity. Once you understand the identity that connects us as Latinos, then you'll have a better understanding of who you are, because your roots, they are the ones that make you grow stronger and taller and then unmovable, right? You are very strong, stable. Then also, try to get your inspiration and try to give it a twist. Try to make it on your own. Don't copy others, right? If maybe you enjoy the Cholo culture, hey, I have nothing against that, right? If you want to be like that, be like that. But don't copy others simply because that's what's cool, simply because you want to get accepted in the circle, right? You want to be the cool kid, or you want to just belong. How about you belong to yourself? You know, this idea that you want to belong in a society, like, oh, please accept me, please. You're giving away your power. How about you work on yourself, and then they will try to feed on to you because you're raising the standards, right? If you are the person who looks sharp and you're getting more money, you're getting more deals, you're getting more out of life, the sweetness of life, then pretty soon you'll see how others react different towards you, and then they are the ones who are trying to prove themselves onto you instead of you trying to fit in with them. So you're trying to fit into a shitty place. Why don't you just man, you transform them. Man, it's not that you have to transform them, but you will see. Pretty soon you will see that just by wearing some blazers, wearing some colorful shirts, by wearing some details, by wearing some necklaces, some bracelets that represent your culture. You will have a conversation piece, right? Oh my God, this is very interesting. What does your tattoo stand for? What is blah, blah, all of these things? It'll be better, and you'll pretty soon realize how others start treating you differently. And this is simply because you are treating yourself differently, right? That's how you get more opportunities. That's how you become the best version of yourself. So please, guys, connect to your roots and don't look like shit. You know, just being a Latino should not be equal to looking like shit, talking like shit, and not being, you know, not breaking that stereotype, and not being a sharp business type of person, or, you know, someone successful. Like, there's a lot of people that have proved us or proved them wrong, that we don't look like that. Not all of us are like that, all right? So I want you to mold yourself, make your own version of you and your own version of Latinos, but only when you study the actual roots of us, which is something that, you know, if you listen to my podcast, I've been talking about it. I do it in Spanish and I do it in English. It's called The Fashion Matrix. I've been talking about connecting to your roots, and our roots, especially as Latinos. It's so deep, deeper than you thought it was. We have been misguided. So I think that you just go there. It's totally free. You'll understand. You'll have a better understanding. Then also I have a coaching program called The Fashion Matrix as well. You simply go to fashionmetrics.vip and you will learn more about these things, more in depth. I will actually give you the actual steps tailored to you on how to bring that essence and being different and standing out. And then last but not least, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You already know that I was going to say that, right? Subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a like, comment, be the best version of yourself, and I will see you on the next one.